today we have three-stage adventure. So first we will see first step of using artificial intelligence at your work. Probably you already test few things, but I will show you how I'm testing it. Then we will see new idea development system I developed just 2 weeks ago for the use with artificial intelligence to really quickly develop your project idea and test it, with the help and heavy lifting is doing artificial intelligence. And the third thing will be face-to-face training in Florence invitation, because in the June from 8 to 11, we will do the face-to-face training in June in artificial intelligence in Florence. And if you have time, you're really welcome to join us. So let's see what we have here. Our long-term vision is minimizing Erasmus Plus administration with artificial intelligence. What does that mean? That means that actually we don't like to do all the bureaucratic work which somebody else can do instead of us. And this could be artificial intelligence, So instead of writing project for 2 months, we can write it in a matter of weeks or even the days with the help of artificial intelligence. When we need to report things at the end of the projects, instead of doing 2 weeks or whatever time you need for the reporting, we can do this in 1 day or 2 days. So that is very important. This is a change. This is a breakthrough. And I will show you how we can do it together. So part 1, first steps of using artificial intelligence tools. So I'm sorry for people who already know what is the artificial intelligence, but I need to go from the beginning because a lot of people still don't know what is that. And, it is cool that we start from the beginning. Okay. So I already posted that. If you go to my website or if you go to the Facebook, you already see how to go to the ChatGPT and create an account. But actually, when you create an account, you will get something like that. This is your, and you can say, okay, new chat. I have past chats here. So we can, do whatever we want for that. We have different models here. We will do today the GPT 3.5 just because this is the free version. You can also have GPT 4, which is paid version, but we will definitely use it for idea development and for a more advanced work. Is GPT 4 much more usable because, reasoning of the GPT-4 of the, let's say, improvement is much better. So this is what we have here. So what you just need to do is to go there and let's say, write something like this. Please provide a concise summary of the latest trends, the best practice in education. So let's try to do it. What you can also do is that you can use maybe voice typing, but for the sake of today, I will do just typing here. Please provide me a concise summary of the new educational trend with the focus on the, let's say, artificial intelligence. And, this was mind-blowing for me at the beginning, that in 1 second, I can get actually everything what I want from the internet in the very short, concise way with a good English. And I can even, if I will type here or mistype something, the system understand, correct your and give the feedback. And this is, something which I really see as a really good improvement of the tools what we did before. So this is the first thing. Let's say a little more, let's say, difficult stuff. Let's say that I need to go to Porto because we are really going to the Porto a lot of times. And, let's give him, or actually, I don't know, it is artificial intelligence, he or she or it, and how it looks like, but I actually calling it, or it needs to be, I really don't know. So, suggest the packing list for the trip to Porto in February. Let's see how we will deal with that. If I can take only one bag on the plane. Good is that you can have, understand, and you say in February, so you have warm clothing. February is still considered winter season, so pack some warm clothing. Rain gear, because Porto is known for rainy weather. Comfortable walking shoes. So actually can, really tell you what you will do. Somebody said, asking to write your application or reports without payment is a grave breach of Erasmus Plus rules. Yeah, so his official guide is that you cannot get somebody else to write your report. True, but if you have your artificial intelligence helper and you will do it on your own, it is not considered that somebody else did this for you. And this is from first hand. So, what you need to do actually is to figure it out what you really want to do it with artificial intelligence tools. So if your goal is to write the project, then using artificial intelligence is not good. If your goal is to do the impact and the projects were done by your idea, with your words and your artificial intelligence, this is good. So in any case, we have official, let's say, feedback when we ask this. We don't have official standpoint, and probably we will not have in any time, because, what is more important for you? To create impact with your good idea, or is important how you write the project? I believe that we are doing for a better of the community and for a better to your target group, whatever you're doing this is. I believe that we cannot change the future, and artificial intelligence is something which is already here. So why will be, difficult for do something like that? So we already submitted pretty much big number of the projects using artificial intelligence writing in the past 2 years. The artificial intelligence tool was not so good as before. Now is much better than before, but still, yeah, you can do it with artificial intelligence if this is your idea. Okay, this is official feedback. If this is your idea and you don't copy anything, this is just the tool as everything else. So why should be, let's say, unhappy about it? The problem we can have if you will write reports with artificial intelligence which are not true, then we have a problem. But this is up to you. Again, is you and your tools. So it is something which is really benefiting our work, and don't be shy to use it. Definitely, this is our job here. So what I want to show you here is, if I take this, just the packing list for the trip to Porto in February, what is difference if you are using it with the ChatGPT-4, which is much more advanced tool? You can see this is much slower, but this for me is very important because I can read it along the way when it's generated, and then also mean that I will be able to spot any problems while we are really developing the text. So before, everything was so quickly. And if you don't have a lot of time, you will just maybe copy it and paste there. And this is totally wrong. I will always say that you need to be in the command mode, meaning that you need to know what you need to do, and your artificial intelligence tool is your helper, which you will support it. So because of that, this is valid also for the project for the national agency, because you're still your idea. You didn't copy it, and you're doing for the good impact of the future. So we are totally covered. So as you can see, preparing in the ChatGPT-4 is something totally different than 3. That's why I'm using for the preparation of all the text ChatGPT-4, which is paid version, is it 20 euros per month, but actually it's worth a lot more. So whoever was before with me knows that we already did 24 euros, okay? We already did with the Jasper before, which is 180 euros, and we're still paying it because we see a lot of use of it. So that's why this is totally different approach than before. So you need to figure it out. You can use ChatGPT 3 for everything, but ChatGPT 4 is much better, and you will get much more, better text for it. So this is what we do. What you can also do is something very important. You can update your previous response. You can say something like that. Here you can see that we have a packing list. We have, clothing, toiletries, electronics, travels, essential, everything is here. Really, let's say that this is really good packing list. If I see that in the 3.5, it's very short. That's why 4.0 is something you need to consider when you really start to think out of the box for creating artificial intelligence writing projects. So what I can do, I can say, update this list if I'm traveling from Slovenia and I'm man. Why I said this? Because before it's electronics, charger, power adapter, And if everything is okay, we'll see, okay, in Slovenia, you have the same power adapter, you have the same weather practically. So it will change previous response based on new solution. And this is what is very important, because now you are talking to the artificial intelligence and you need to have, let's say, better response based on that. And I need to tell you, the system is learning based on your feedback. Yeah, there is a lot of AI tools which can rephrase. I also use here, even the Grammarly, if you put this through the Grammarly, those recognition of the idea of the text is not working anymore. So don't worry about that. This is very easy to check it. So as you can see, what we did here, you can always update response with a new request. This is very important because you can say, instead of repeating the whole, prompt, you can do just update response and do the changes. And this is very quick work for it. So just what we just did, and we ask very specific questions. So more context you're giving, better it is. It is important that you can chat like with the person, and you can iterate until you will get really specific answer. So actually, I can do with this iteration many times, and this system just don't get bored. So you can do as many times as you want. This is change with you do. You can also do the reasoning. This is really nice things that you understand that system can do the reasoning. So if you want to create the recipe for one person, you have only eggs, peanut butter, peppers, onion, chicken breast, you can get the recipe out of it. And this is sometimes good, good. Create me a recipe if I only have eggs, peanut butter, whatever, and chicken breast. Let's see. Okay. Simple recipe using eggs, peanut butter, and chicken breast. Peanut chicken butter with scrambled eggs. Actually, it is not a big achievement, but still you can see, soy sauce, honey, maple. Okay, maybe I don't have it. But in any case, for somebody who just don't have an idea, you can get the ingredients and instruction how to do it. Here, it is much more important thing than that you can maybe understand now is that the system can do the reasoning. It is very important. So when you will give proper thing, proper prompt, you will see that you'll get very good feedback. So what we just did is that we asked the question where the system needs to understand the question and come up with a solution. This is important when, somebody really need advice, and this is one of the things you will do a lot of time. So reasoning is the thing. For example, this is also one of the reasoning. If you are in Portugal and have day free, you can say, okay, I will be driving from Porto to Lisbon. I like to have a dinner of the outskirts of Lisbon in a popular restaurant with locals. I love scenic roads, create the perfect itinerary. So, instead of going to the Google and try to figure out what to do, this is done very quickly. So for example, I have a free day. and I will be driving from to Lisbon. Create me itinerary for driving on scenic roads. I actually don't know how I would do this easy, but with that is, really easy. Start in Porto, then go to Aveiro, 75 kilometers, 1 hour. And then this is Venice of Portugal, do this and that. Then go to Costa Nova, 11 kilometers. So this is, advanced thing, what you need to understand, that you can use it for the information which is already existing in the internet. So without, you can still do it. Better tourist guide than me. Me too, actually, I'm very bad tourist guide, because I go to the first town and I stop it because everything is interesting for me. So I forgot for everything. So yeah, using this system, because it is nice also when you have some kind of exchange of the students who are coming to your organization, you need to try to figure out what to do with them. So this is really great approach for that. So actually, it is very important that you can try also nuances. You can also define the final address, exactly address when you are, and ask for a specific dish to try, and they'll give, the restaurants for the best views. And then you can refine the question many times. So this you do iteratively. So the same thing you can do with any text you're doing with artificial intelligence. The same thing we have here, to go Porto, Costa Nova, Figueira, Coimbra, Tomar, Fatima, Ubidos, and then Lisbon. Try to figure it out how much work you have if you do with the Google search. Totally different approach. So yes, of course, there are a lot of some application to use artificial intelligence to do different tours, but idea today is that you can use just ChatGPT, understand it, and based on that you can do practically everything you need to do with for your work. Okay, you need to understand two different approach from Google to the artificial intelligence tools. One is benefits. If you want to check benefits for teaching children for time management, what you need to do is to create a search which needs to be very precise to match the answer, because Google will try to match this with the results on the internet. So that's why this is normal way. That's why on every of the, whatever they will ask you or teach you on some of the seminars how to use the Google is short text. They will always say short as possible, so we can have more results and then you can refine. So this is the idea if you're doing with the Google. With artificial intelligence, it's totally different. You need to craft a prompt that will provide clear context and the specifics for the desired information. So with artificial intelligence, I will do list 5 key benefits of teaching children time management skills and explain how these benefits contribute to the overall development. So this is what I would do if I'm using artificial intelligence tools instead of Google. So here you have very small, very easy to find match. With artificial intelligence, you need to provide more, let's say, context. And it is very important. You know, this is how is Google search different with a prompt or the artificial intelligence. And this is the key point you need to understand when you're working with artificial intelligence tools, any tools in the future. So we are already in that revolution, and we are using it, but without, that you will see that you will just lag behind. So just imagine how much work you have with the Google to create itinerary from Porto to Lisbon, for example, and what you can do with the AI tools. And this is the same with your project writing. The same, and I will show today a few things about it. Okay. So the process of refining prompt is called prompt engineering. So you probably already know. And definition of the prompt engineering is that this is the art and science of crafting effective prompts to guide artificial intelligence system. If you'll go and check what is the salaries for the prompt engineering, they are astronomically high now. 300,000 euros in Europe per year. This is the salary of the good prompt engineers. So understanding prompting and prompt engineers is much more important than find any application which use AI. Application which using AI is good for very specific thing, while ChatGPT is an enormous system which can do practically everything, maybe sometimes a little slower, but you need to learn how to use it. This is different. And well-crafted prompts are essential for obtaining accurate, relevant, and useful responses. So always 3 important steps. Provide detailed context. Whatever you already know at the beginning, you need to be specific and clear, and then you experiment with praising. You will see that sometimes if you will, create something, and then when you will just change the same thing, you will get the different result. And what is very important, if you will not provide enough context, artificial intelligence tool will make up part of the result. Your text will be made up without proper background info. Meaning that if you will not read it and you will not provide enough information, you will get totally false text. And you will submit it if you will not check it. So again, I'm saying, it is really important that you are in charge in writing artificial intelligence text. I've been just explaining, communicating with Diana from Porto about one school we want to involve, and they didn't provide us enough information, and the system just made up something. And we need to redo everything out from this. And this is very, very important. You need to check every detail of the text you have. It will be written well, but if you will not provide the clear context, your info will be made up. And you will have a problem later. Okay. Other prompt examples which are very, very important. We just have, happening, the classroom is now have LTT in Poland. And instead of writing complete post, you can use it to create the post for your organization. This is actually really good. So you can do it very quickly and say, our project, called happiness, is having LTT in Poland, where we are testing the training material with the teachers. These teachers will be testing it in their school. Why I'm doing this? Without, at the beginning, create me a post about. So instead of doing, bad post on the internet, or, I'm really frustrating when I see when somebody is posting on the Facebook Zoom meeting of the project, 5 faces in the boxes, because just your mother will give you the heart about it, nobody else is caring what I'm doing. With that, look, you can see how much useful text you can get in just one small prompt. And if this prompt took me about 20 seconds, that would take me absolutely half an hour. And this is the beauty now of the system. So now you can definitely say, probably you need to say, update the response and give me the feedback, let's say, for that and that. So that's why I'm doing it very, very quickly. Okay, prompts. When I'm asking you share the results of the system, I need to tell you that our last 2 years, we have 70 and 81% of acceptance rate of our project. 70 and 81, and at least 10 teams was totally new. So it is not just about ChatGPT. It's about the system, which needs to be structured very well. So this is methodological framework, and there is a system which gives you good text. So you need to know what you want to, give, and then use the artificial intelligence to create your text. So we did in the Jasper in the 2 consecutive years. ChatGPT is just this year. And, whoever will not use the ChatGPT or other artificial intelligence tool will be behind the scheme, everybody will use it. So you need to be one step forward to that. So you can see how easy it is done this. So there is no excuse for a bad post anymore on the internet, if you really know what we are doing. Okay. What I just did is also official letter for a national agency. Write me an official letter to the national agency explaining that we want to move our final conference from face-to-face meeting to an online meeting because of the sudden rise in prices for international flights and the current situation of COVID. We are suggesting that we use the remaining funds to create new results, where we will be in the video format explaining 6 models of training. These videos will be used in our learning platform and for promotional activities. Okay, I did this in 2 minutes. And actually, the system will do all the important work for you as well. So whatever you need to have for official letter with the subject and, whatever they needs to be. I'm writing on behalf, for example, here say your organization. If I would go back and say, update previous response and add my organization name, date, whatever, it will fill it up. If not, you will do it. But actually, you can see that this is very well written letter, saying, I hope this letter finds a good health and high spirit. I'm writing on behalf of Smart Idea to inform you of the significant change we would like to propose for our final conference, initially planned as a face-to-face event. Due to the sudden rise in international flight prices over evolving COVID-19 situation, we believe it would be best interest of all parties involved to transit the conference in an online format. So this is really nicely written letter to the national agency, which pack your 5 lines of letter into something which can be used practically very, very quickly. So this is a big help for you, and I'm using it all the time. Okay. So this is the response of the ChatGPT, as I already told you. This is something which I using it all the time. Sorry for that. Okay, let's proceed now. So always you need to focus on the content and leave the creation of the text to AI tools. So this is very good example how you just use the idea with just few lines, let's say, and ChatGPT will create something useful to be used at once. So as I said already here, you can see that this text is practically done just in the 5-6 lines. So you need to focus on the content, and definitely you need to iteratively refine the prompts, but thoroughly check the results. Without checking it, you can have a problem. So this is very important. What about complex multi-level tasks in different languages? So for example, I have here results of our survey in the Slovenian language, because we need to do it in the Slovenian language, of course. Somebody already writing me on the, I will, okay. Just a second. Okay, so this is a real survey, and the data should be in Slovenian, because of course all the participants were all the Slovenians, and we want to ask the system to make demographic analysis of the participants in English language, despite the fact that we have input in Slovenian in the narrative form, and make conclusions in the survey results can be biased. And what we got here is, complete translation first. So all of this was first translated to the English. So somebody, for the national agency can read, and based on that data, you got the feedback. The overrepresentation of higher education degree holders could lead to the biased results. So, this is few very important steps done in just one, ChatGPT prompt. Just in that thing, we did, very, very quickly all the analysis we need. So that's why I want to let's say, tell you that even with the basic knowledge of the prompting, you can do a lot of things. This is also, again, one thing. Help me create a better prompt for a task like that. So if you don't know, if you really don't know how to use the ChatGPT, you can ask the ChatGPT how to use it. Help me create a better prompt for a task like that. And, they say, the system said what should be changed or how we need to do it. So if you don't know how to use it, ask ChatGPT itself. This is crazy, total different approach that we have before. That if you don't know how to use it, ChatGPT give you the idea how to use it in the future. So this is good. Okay, so this was just basics. Only the basics how to use it. So whenever we will start to use it more in detail, you will see that there is a plenty of different levels. So we can say what will be the output format. We can do, let's say, do the analysis of the structure of the written text. Then we say that roles of the artificial intelligence. Then we say the tone of writing, how the system should do it. Maybe academic, maybe detailed. Or we can also summarize the website and documents and translations, and we can also do the images. So prompts for the images. So actually, even in the basic level, you can do a lot of things without, pay anything. So because it is open to everybody, you can use it for a good view.